Alright. This one. Okay, 1 second, we're almost in. Okay, there we go. Almost. 1 second. Okay. So there we go. I've been working on the level design a bit. I need. I'm thinking I need a lot more work still. I might work on it behind the scenes, but for now, I'm thinking I want to set up the buildings, but this could take a while. So I'm gonna see if I can't find a way to sort of automate this. So I was thinking I'm gonna make a building. Also, I was looking at these guys and seeing if I can get some of my new guys and just like make them look a little shittier. I'm gonna have to drop the texture sizes as well, but that shouldn't be too hard. I'll just export the textures I've got for them, and then drop the just scale them down and then re-import them, and that should work. Yeah. Anyway, so what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a way to make these buildings randomizable. But am I going to use a HUD for it? So I can just like click it, click. No, because that would be gameplay. I don't want gameplay. I think we're just going to okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to need a couple variables, and these are just going to be integers, and we'll expose on spawn, make them editable. Integer. Let's say bottom floor. Bottom floor. Let's make one called floors, and we'll decide how many floors we get later. We want that exposed on spawn. Instance editable. Now we're going to want the meshes. We're going to want meshes and textures. So let's add a static mesh. Bottom floor mesh. We'll do the same with how many floors can we top out at? Maybe 5, 4, maybe 4. Let's go 4. So we'll go first floor, mesh. And we're just gonna go through. Second floor mesh. Third floor mesh. Actually, you know what? There might be the easier way to do this. Instead of this, let's just get bottom floor mesh, and then the rest we can figure out later. Because we're going to be working with basically these guys here. So it looks like it's always going to be the bottom corner, which is excellent. It's going to work in our favor for swapping these out. So let's get some in there. So we're going to start with an apartment door. That's going to be a variable. Okay, so has door. We need to know whether or not these bad boys are going to have a door, or if it's going to be like a bunch of windows or something. Expose on spawn. Instance editable. So we've got floors. I feel like maybe I do want to add a way to so I don't have a randomize button. How am I going to randomize it? I guess we'd have to do it in the construction script or begin play. It'll have to be begin play, and if we're going to do that, then I think we're going to have to be a bit more generic. So I think what we're going to do is, let's say we want to add components. Let's figure out the height that we can add. So if we go first floor mesh, that's what I want. So the first floor mesh will go maybe something like this. So basically, if we spawn it in and then plus 300, it looks like about 300 that should line up properly. And then if I swap you out with a rooftop, it will also, okay, so it will also add that. Okay, so I think what we want to do is say if we've got bottom floor floors, let's make a variable and say texture type. Yeah, texture type. And we'll just make this an integer. Okay, I figured it out. I figured out how exactly how we're going to do this. It's going to be easy. Instance editable, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so texture type, mesh type. That's what we're going to do. Expose on spawn, instance editable. Custom. Maybe for the sake of testing, we're going to add this into construction instead. I might change this a little later, but for now, we can instance, new variable, don't need you. Okay, so for the sake of testing, we're going to start with this guy is the main floor. We're going to need first floor. We don't want you. We 100% only want this. Where am I? Okay, so set static mesh. we're gonna get this, promote this to a variable, and this will be mesh skins. We want it to be an array. Do nothing. We want compile, make this an array, and oh no, mesh meshes. That's what we want. Say building meshes. Door meshes, and let's make another one. Say is corner. Just make that you expose on spawn, instance editable. I am nope, not you. Let's get more meshes. Corner meshes. Okay, so we've got corner meshes. That'll do. Again, I don't have a plan on making this shit up, so I apologize if I get hung up while I figure out how I'm going to do this. So, this is the one that matters. No. What we're going to do is we're going to get the bottom floor, and we're going to figure out how many door meshes. We want to know how many bottom floor meshes we get, how many door meshes we get. Basically, let's get, first of all, is this a door? Does it have a door? And we're just going to say so door meshes, let's find our doors. Your door, door, that's not a door. Okay, that looks like it is all of our doors. We might swap this out with like apartments as well. So I think apartments will be different to like shops, you know? Or maybe not. Let's add them for now. Because, like I said, we are... Okay, excellent. So we've got these. Okay, so that's our door meshes. Bottom floor meshes is basically it's the bottom floor, but there's no doors, you know? So this can be all of these guys. Not these guys. These guys are too big. But they're these guys anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it? You're not a door. Let's add these. Do I want... Yeah, we're going to have office buildings as well. Okay, 100% office is going to be different. Okay, so we have you guys. Okay, so we've got you, bottom floor meshes. Clamp, whatever this is, we want to clamp length will be the maximum. minimum, blah blah blah. Okay, so we're gonna do the same, but with the door meshes. So whatever number we put in, we just want to make sure we're not trying to pull a number that doesn't exist. Then we're going to go door meshes, get, and we'll get you from you, slap you in there. If it has door, then yep, that's what we're doing. And if it does not have a door, then that's what we're doing. Alright, so alrighty, let's see how our little building guys come along. Actors, world chunks, buildings. Okay, so we got him. So bottom floor meshes. Aha. We want you to have a door. Has door. Okay, so it's already kind of working. But for now, it's always going to be 0. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 11 is okay. 13. Okay, I see. Okay, so first issue. -1. Do this up here as well. Just because the length is also not including the 0. Well, it is including the 0. One of the two. Either way, deducted by 1, and we should no longer have that if we exceed 11. 10. Yeah, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now we're not getting blank meshes. Excellent. The people. Okay, so door, blah blah. Okay, let's go through, because which ones did we want to delete? Bottom floor meshes. Okay, so let's add some booleans. Randomize floor count, and instead of randomize floor count, we will randomize skins, randomize skins, expose and spawn, instance editable. Okay, so to keep this a little bit more neat, I think what I'm going to do is collapse the function. Make bottom floor. Okay, so when we make bottom floor, let's also have one more check. And we're just gonna say randomize floor count. If this is false, do this. If it's true, not you, yep. Then we're gonna get this guy. No, this guy. Nope. Yes. Bottom floor. Set. Random. In range. Let's just get whatever this is. Oh, wait, no. Let's just... Okay, so if it's not random, come down here, do this. Because that's what we wanted. If it is random, come up here and do this. And what we will do is, instead of picking our floor, we will just say random integer in range between 0 and this. Clamp it from this to this as well. We won't really need to clamp that, actually. No need to clamp. Just pick a random one. And okay, so we've got this now, and what we're going to do is we're going to say, if it's one that we don't want to randomize and we want to actually have a bit of control over, let's say 9, 8, but if we hit randomize, then it should pick one randomly, which is better, but I want control, so that's not what we're going to do. Alright, so our bottom floor is now spawning in. I think we might want to sync up the floors and the meshes, that way if we pick one, then we can pick that across all of our guys here, and it should just follow through. But then we'd have to make that, yeah, we'll continue. Okay, so set the bottom floor. Now, let's spawn floors. So when we spawn floors, we're going to figure out how many floors have we got. Let's make a new... Aha, we already did that. So, grab you, chuck you in there. If we randomize, yep, good. So when we randomize the floor count, I think the maximum floor we're going to have is maybe 5. No, we'll make it 4. It's top down, so you're not going to see that high. So we'll set you between 1 and 4. And if it's false, pretty much all we're going to do is we're going to get this, and we're going to say 4. 0 to however many floors we have. So if it's false, go straight to what their floor we said. And if it's true, pick one and then spawn them in. And I think then what we're going to do is we can spawn components, right? Let's add component. Add maybe by class. Let's just see what we got. There should be a static mesh. Oh. Add a static mesh component. So it's probably going to be in this. Let's get our... Not you. We'll base it on you. Oh, it's relative though. So we might make a mistake here, but that's fine. We'll go by whatever we end up with. Actually, we might not need to. Spawn floors. Okay, so we're going to make a local variable, and this is just going to be previous mesh. It's going to be a static mesh component. I think this one. Objects. Yep, component object reference. That's what it should be, I'm going to assume. So we'll get this guy, and you're going to be you, set you in here. Before we start the loop, just so we got our first reference. And what we're going to do is we're going to get our previous mesh. We're going to say, get the relative transform, split this, we only want this guy, and let's add, was it X? I'm pretty sure it was the X. Nope, Z. Okay, so we're going to get the Z, and we're going to add 300. And... nope. Okay, so we'll add this here, and it should line up, in theory. Not necessarily. So... and when we add our component, we're going to get our previous mesh, and we're going to set that again, so that when we add the next component, it continues to just build on top of that. And manual attachment. Okay. We also want to set the static mesh to be actually, yeah, we already set it. So if we set the mesh type, maybe we'll just go building meshes. Get. And we might change this a little bit, but for now, we're just going to get the mesh type. We'll just get, we don't want to copy the bottom floor because it's going to be different. So, yeah, we'll say mesh type for now. And we haven't actually added these. Did I not add some? Oh yeah, I added bottom floor meshes, but not. Technically it's the same, so let's just get bottom floor meshes. No. Okay, so get. Let's make random. For now, random. Random, integer, and range. And we'll set this from you to length -1. Grab one of them, set it. And then once we're finished, we're gonna also stop hiding. We're gonna get him. We're gonna do the same. Where have we got him? We're gonna do the same thing again. Add him another 300. It's gonna be the same. Only this time, we're not gonna set previous mesh. We're gonna slap you in there, and we're gonna make you the rooftop. I need to. Where's my rooftops? Door meshes. Grab you. Okay, so we've got some rooftops here. Not you. Roof meshes. We'll do the same thing. Only delete all those. We don't need those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't want the corners. Is that a corner? It is a corner. So ignore that one too. Okay. Just grab a random one of those and slap it on top. Okay, so we go construction, let's say spawn floors. Okay, so floors is 0 plus 1. So at minimum we're getting 1 floor. So if I say -1, you can see the rooftop spawning on top of it as well. So it is working, which is always nice to see. But if we go 5, you can see we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The math doesn't add up exactly, but it's irrelevant. It's relevant, you know. It's close enough. It's close enough. We know what we're doing. And we've got a roof on top, which is always nice. So if I make 2 of these now. Okay, so that's what I meant earlier by what we could do is set up a, because I think right now I set this up to random, right? Go spawn floors. It is random. So what I could do is have one more check in here. So we'll split this off. Not exactly split off, but we're just going to move it over. Randomize skins, randomize floor count. Actually, also, okay, randomize floor count. Let's do that as well. Just a test. Seems to be mostly large though, you know? Let's drop that a bit. Okay, so the bottom is now -1. Nah, 0. Just 0. And max can be 5. Yeah, it's coming along nicely. I feel like we're gonna save ourselves some time. Okay. So we got that. Let's do. That's what we're gonna check. Let's check if we're randomizing the skins. So if we randomize the skins, if it's true, just continue doing this. If it's false, then we want to do this one instead. And if it does this one, what do we want to do? So instead of getting random, we got it right here. We want to get the mesh type. Must have a connection. What are you talking about? Not you, not you. Yeah, that's fine. That'll work. Okay, so we wanted to get the mesh type. Base. Okay, so when we make the bottom floor, let's make one more variable. Let's add a new one in here. This will be a boolean, and this variable is simply going to be copy bottom. And all this means is has door, no. I'm still trying to think where I'm going to inject this. Probably on the ends of all these, because this is when we pick the floors. So what we're going to do is we're going to say copy bottom. So once we've finished doing all this, let's make temp pick number, and that's going to be an integer. So basically anytime we pick a number, we want to set this so that we can keep track of this number. Same thing here. Obviously, I do have a point for my doing this. Okay, so temp pick number. This isn't randomized, so we don't really need a temp pick number for this one because we already know the number that we're going to pick. And that number is going to be whatever the bottom floor number is. So in this case, we could just get the bottom floor. And we can just copy bottom. I wonder, would the construction overwrite my setting this in here? Because if not, me adding a false here would be irrelevant. I mean, if it does, then that would be irrelevant. But either way, let's just say if it copies bottom, then set this to whatever this is. And same thing over here. If we're copying the bottom, let's just get the temp pick number and set U to the U. Let's make a new variable that can't be affected. We'll say this is manual mesh type. And we'll make a new one, which will be generated mesh type. So if we're copying bottom, do that. And instead of manual, we'll say generated. Because the generated, we don't want to have this. False, manual. Actually, since this is the I'm already starting to splinter off into too many variables for me to keep track of, I think. Copying bottom, temp pick, set it to generated, manual mesh. Let's just say generated. Always generated. Maybe we'll set it to manual. Because then I can pick it myself. So we've got this. Manual. So if we're coming false, we're just going to come in here and say you. And that's fine, we can leave that one as is. But this one, let's say generated. We'll just set it generated. And we have broken it. And we've broken it in, I don't think in this one. I think this one might actually generate it. It probably is broken here. So temp pick number would be setting to you, set to you, Yeah, that's what's breaking, is the manual picking. I think I'm going to skip this step for now. So, if we're randomizing, generated, we don't want generated. Let's just say manual mesh type. Slap you in there. That way we can sort of pick it. So it'll always be like the same, you know, predictable. We do kind of want predictable sometimes. 6, but we're gonna clamp it. And we want to clamp it by length minus 1. Yeah. Now we can't get that issue we go over. I think I do want randomized, not randomized floor count, but like randomized skins. That way the floors do look a bit random, you know? But we're not going to randomize the floors right now. And we're going to set it to 3 over here. Because that's about the height I want. But also I need to remove one. Which one did I want to remove? I wanted to remove this guy. He's too big. And one of you is a corner. It's you. And it's you. Get out of here, corners. Okay, so when we make the bottom, another check we want to do is say, is corner. I'm gonna say if it's false, yeah, it's fine. If it's true, then basically we just want to set the bottom floor mesh to, do I have corner meshes? I don't have corner meshes. Do I have corner meshes? Let's just say corner mesh. I do. I knew it was weird that I was having errors there. Okay, let's go find our corners. Also, roof corner meshes. We're gonna get you 2. Just while we're here, because we've got 1, 2, 3. Those are our roof corners. Okay, so roof mesh. Nope, not roof mesh. Corner mesh. Technically, all of these guys could be a corner. So I might actually leave them in as a corner. But I might make it a bit more obvious with just these guys. Okay, so do we have corner floors? I don't think we do. We don't. Okay, so we're gonna go construction, make bottom floor. Okay, so if it's a corner, then we're gonna set static mesh to roof corner meshes, get, obviously we're gonna do this one again. Okay, so first of all, are we randomizing? if it's true, then length. There's only 2, so does it really matter? It's not what I want. Random integer and range. Minimum 0, maximum. There's only 2. It's either 0 or 1. Then grab one of those. Okay, but if it's not, then we're going to get a copy. We will get our bottom floor, clamp this to maximum of 1. That's all we need. And then we'll get that and do the same. No, not roof corner meshes, just corner meshes. Bottom floor meshes, bottom floor. Okay, yep, that makes sense. Yep, okay. I thought I was missing something there. So let's just save it real quick. Come down here. So now you have to be a corner. Do I only have one corner? Surely I can't. I don't. No, I've got 2 corners. Oh, it's because it's not randomized, is it? Nope, not you. Yeah, there we go. So it's always going to be a corner now, but it can be a random, which is great. Okay. This is good because it's going to save me a lot of time. I can just spawn these around and obviously change them as I'd like. Let's see. Door, texture type. Okay, texture. That is the other one. So we're going to get our mesh. Let's just get a reference. Set material. Promote the variable. Bottom floor texture. And get rid of that. Compile it and make this an array. I feel like that could take a bit longer and I don't really want to do that. So I think what I might do is I'm going to turn this into 2 different actors. Yeah. Okay, let's say building actors, and we're going to make a child. And the child is going to be apartment, which can stay the same. And The other child, I'm gonna delete that one. But the other child, this one's going to be, what is it? What is it? Office. There's an office looking right at me. Okay, so in the offices, obviously all we want to do is on construction, do the same thing, but we're going to interject something in between, and what that is we're going to get bottom floor meshes, and we're going to clear all of these, and we're going to inject our own into them. Get I think get roof meshes. Okay, excellent. Let's just find the office buildings. So we're going to do the same here. It says the large base. Large floor, large roof. Yep, that's fine. Small, small. We'll keep the larges, and we can change that. No, I didn't want to push A. I think that they generally look the same, so it doesn't matter. There's not much randomization we're going to get from the office buildings. So we may as well more or less leave them as is. We might actually swap it because, like I said, there's nothing really to swap with the office buildings. So I think with the office, I might just steal it and say if it has a door, then yeah, because we don't have a lot of randomization. So if we set that in here like this, then that might already work as an office building. Let's see. Except for the little roof there. It would work for the small ones, which is fine, but as this is a large one, what I might do is just say get roof meshes, and I'll just clear that for the offices, and then we won't have that roof spawning in there. Technically spawning a component, so I'll clean that up later, but for now this can stay as is. But it might be better. I'm gonna say big office, but small office might be better. If we come here and construction, okay, so our roof meshes, let's do the same. No, not you. Get small office. Chuck him in there. Got them bottom floor meshes. We'll get these. Let's clear. Before I clear that out, let's find them. Alright, now clear them out. Okay, so also roof meshes. Let's add some back in. 1, 2, 3. Chuck you in. Now we've got roofs back. It doesn't look like they actually do get a roof. Oh, it does have a roof. Never mind. So add, but delete the rest. Okay, so bottom floor mesh. We'll just say it can be one of you, one of you. Oh, the base is going to be a different shape, isn't it? Hold up. You. Hold that thought. I need to compare. Okay, yeah. The offices are going to be different. So instead of a child, I'm going to make it different. I didn't even realize that this one was different. So the offices are going to have to be a little different. So we're going to delete those. Yes. Apartments. Yep. Okay, so whereabouts? Okay, so bottom floor. The bottom floor is always going to be we don't have any negotiations here. The bottom floor will always be you. What is your you? This one. And so that's irrelevant. The corner meshes, we're not going to have corners, so irrelevant. Let's just delete it. No, we'll leave this as is, but door meshes are irrelevant. Floor. So we would be able to spawn on top, right? Like if I go to the apartment buildings, if I make a new variable and say offices here, I think I caused it to crash. Please don't crash. Oh, thank God. Okay, so if we say corners, if we make, no. Officers only matters when we spawn this. So if we come here, if we're spawning these, what I might do is let's keep this as is. Let's not change this. We're gonna add offices. If it's not offices, do that. But if it is offices, what we're going to do is do the same. So we'll spawn, we'll run the for loop for all of our floors. Yep, that's fine. Run the for loop for our floors, get the previous mesh, probably add the same just as a test. We'll do all the same. Slap you in there. Only the difference we're going to make is here. And the difference is going to be that all of these will be you. And then once we finish, we will get you and you and you. I just want to lift these guys up a bit. Bring these guys down a bit. Slap you onto completed, and obviously that will just be the roof. Alright, excellent. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to say if this is an office, which I did not allow myself to do. Expose and spawn, instance editable. Okay, so we'll make a different one over here, and this one I want to be an office building. Son of a bitch. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. If it's an office building, these are lining up fine. That's fine. All I want to do is okay. So when we make the bottom floor, we're gonna come through here. We're gonna say blah 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 blah. Has door blah blah blah. Randomize is corner. Okay, so if you're corner, go do that. Okay, so if we are offices, false, do everything else like normal. But if it's true, then let's get the bottom floor mesh. Set static mesh. Obviously there's only one mesh, so it doesn't matter. And that one mesh is going to be you. And that's fine. It's a small one, yeah? Yeah, small. Excellent. Yeah, we can leave that as is, and I think that should work. But we're going to get this clipping here. So when we spawn the floors, we're going to come up to here and say if it's offices, blah, 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 come here. And we're going to do one check here. And this one check is going to say this index equals 0. It's false. Do this one. Run this as normal. But if it's true, we want it to be higher than the rest of them. So all I need to know is how much higher. So let's remove that. First of all, add you. And second of all, add you. It's double the size. Gotcha. Okay. So uh, 600. Alright, so construction, slap you back in, spawn floors, come here. If you are 600, and then the rest run at 300, and now it's not clipping through anymore. Yeah, that looks better. And if we say randomize floor count, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Excellent. Now all I can really do is just like copy paste these around, and over time I just add a bit more logic into them, and we should more or less get what we want. And as for all these, I don't need these anymore. Okay, so let's just flip you around. 9D. This one I don't want to be a corner, and I do want it let's not randomize the floor counts. Floors, we're going to drop this down to like 3. I do need to fix the texture, but that's fine. Yeah, we're gonna go back to randomizing. The bottom's not randomizing anymore. I must have changed something. But what did I change? Make bottom floor, okay, so offices, that's fine. East corner, randomize floor count. Oh, I think what I meant was randomize skins, but I said floor count. Bottom floor. Yeah, this is supposed to be skins. Yeah, randomize skins is supposed to be this guy. And floor, yeah. So that only randomized when, so if I set this, then obviously the bottom stays the same, But if I say skins, then the bottom starts changing again, which is good. It's what I want. I'm gonna add a couple more variables into this later on, like I think like I'll add a variable for like floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, floor 4 meshes, so that I can pick individual floors, even if they don't exist. Obviously it just won't change that, but it would just give me that little bit more control. Okay, so from now I think we'll go you, and let's randomize floors a bit. Actually, let's with randomizing floors, let's make it different. Let's make one change, one important change. So I think the randomizing floors with spawn floors, what we're gonna do, so we're gonna get this one, and we're gonna make this a variable, and this is gonna be minimum floor. Expose on spawn, instance editable. And maximum. Integer, we'll just say we'll just say maximum floors. So expose on spawn, instance editable. So by default, I think we will say, yeah, we'll just leave it as 0, 0. But obviously, we'll say 3 floors minimum and maximum 5. And now we can get like a random amount of floors spawning, but we have a bit more control, you know. Like I want random, but I don't want too small, you know. Maybe something like that height. That'll do. Yeah, that'll do. Alright. It's okay they block like the doorways or whatnot. Let's turn you around the other way. There you go. 180. But I mean, yeah, just setting this up is going to save me a shit ton of time with the level design. Okay, now an important thing I suppose would be whether or not I should be spawning, because I left myself a little bit from the original map over here as like an example. It's a bit dark. Okay, so these do have a bit more of a complicated like feel to them, you know what I mean? So perhaps what I should do kind of feel like it crashed. I don't know why it's struggling so here. Is it this little thing here? Oh, it doesn't matter. was just thinking, like, if I was gonna spawn fire escapes, I was wondering about like offsets and things like that. But it does look like it's actually fixed to the exact same point. So I think it'd be easier to implement. So let's add a new variable. Let's add a fire escape. Just make it a boolean, and we're going to add this in with the spawn floors. And when we spawn in the floors, randomize skins, I think what we're gonna do is, let's just chuck that over there. We can keep this as is. Keep this as is. But we'll get this, and we're just gonna say current index. Nope. We want it to be an integer. Current index, and we're just going to set that. Let's not bother up here. Only if it's not offices. Yeah, that's all we're going to. Randomize skins, if that's true, come down here. Let's spawn in another component. Okay, so once we do this, we can just say if this has a fire escape, both these can come up here. Okay, so if this has a fire escape, expose on spawn, instance editable, then we want to do the same. So give me 1 second. Okay, that's better. We're going to do the same thing we did over here, where we're going to add a static mesh, but only if it's true. If it's false, we don't care. And obviously I was seeing multiple sections. We're going to get previous mesh, add you. Maybe a local variable. No. Set static mesh. Yeah, okay, so we're going to set the static mesh, and we're going to set this based on the current index, because the fire escape was modular, I believe. Aha, okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if this equals 0, you know what? Switch. Do I want to switch? Let's just say less than 1. then we'll set it to the original. And if it's false, we will set it to this one. And I think if we get the roof, yeah, we want to add it to the last one. So what we've got to find is the last. What is? Aha, it's always going to be floors, isn't it? Okay. So. Okay, so this is false. If we say current index, if this is equal to floors, do one more check. If it's false, do that. But if this is true, then we want to set this again. But since it's the last floor, we want to set it to this. 1. Okay. And hopefully that works. I have no guarantee it'll work. You know what? Yeah. It's pretty close. Instead of adding this, because we're technically spawning it in on the floor, and we already got the previous mesh, so let's just add it to the mesh that we just spawned in. And like that, it worked. And now we've got functional it looks good. And they should spawn in with the floors. Has fire escape. Yeah. So however many floors we have, that's how many fire escapes we get as well. So that's good. Might just add some fire escapes to some of you guys. No, I don't want you to have a door. You don't have a door. But you can have a fire escape too. No door. But you, I do want to have a door. But I want a better door. That's the door. No. I don't know what number. Yes. Yep, that's what I want. Right there. If I spawn in, is this going to I think that would absolutely change again. It actually stayed. Yeah. Also, my camera's busted. I was not supposed to. Where's my? Must have deleted it. Okay. As I said, the game's going to be pretty focused in, so you're not really going to see a lot on the buildings, but it's just going to save me a lot of time spreading them out. I should change so that the camera can't go into the buildings. I could add air conditioners, because you can see there's some air conditioners and pot plants, but they would depend on the skin specifically. So I might not add those just yet. Anyway. Alright, that's good. Made a lot of progress, but I think I'm gonna call it there for now. Ciao, guys.